Hi everybody, welcome to week 2 of our Tea with Templeway. So my name is Callie and I'm part of the Templeway team here in Potter's Bar in London. And I'm just here with another guest here today, and I just wanted her to briefly introduce herself. So if you could share with us your name, your age, and perhaps what you're doing for a living, and whether you are doing it or not doing it during lockdown as well.
Okay, so my name's Joelle. I am 23 and I'm a recruitment consultant. I'm currently on furlough though, so I'm not actually doing all the recruiting stuff at the moment, but still currently employed.
Hoping to stay that way.
Yeah, hopefully it does.
Do you feel
Yeah.
like it's do you feel like the furlough situation is like, has it made you kind of think like, do I still want to do this job? Like, has it given you that chance to think about that? Or is it more just like, I want to keep my job and just get back into it?
I think recruitment, in whatever way I do it, whether it's internal or external, will always be something that I want to do. Yeah, that's something that I've kind of realised from doing the job. Like, I really enjoy it. In terms of moving, no, because the company that I work for really allows for a lot of scope for learning, and for you to kind of find different interests and stuff. So I'm hoping like when I go back, I'll be able to kind of help out with our women in tech kind of side of our business. So like, no, I feel like the company provides so much in terms of what I want to do for the rest of my career. Not quite in terms of moving on to something else, but it is a bit nerve-wracking. It's a bit like, ooh, like the company is functioning without me.
Yeah.
But they keep in touch, and like they're very like, we miss you guys, like can't wait, because it's just not just me, it's like quite a few of like the more junior consultants. So it's just kind of like part of us being there, we're like trained constantly. So it gets to a point where, okay, well, we're not doing deals because there's not much on the market, and then we're being trained, and it's like, but what you're being trained for, just go away for a bit.
Yeah.
Until we can like kind of sort out the situation. But yeah, no, it's fine for now, and they're being very reassuring. My CEO actually called to tell me that I was being put on furlough. That's quite reassuring. Like,
Yeah.
we do value you, but just chill out for a bit, sort of thing. So yeah, no, it's been fine.
That's true. I've not really thought about it like that, in the idea of them like not needing you right now. Basically, it's like we can function without you being here right now. I've not really thought about it in that whole I thought about it obviously with like pastors and stuff being furloughed, but I thought about it that way around, but I hadn't really thought about it for everyone else in their workspaces. Like, that's true.
We can function
But I
without
guess,
you.
yeah, but I guess it's, we can function without you in a time where no one else is really
Recruiting.
active and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it has got that. You're only not needed in this time, but in a different type of crisis, you might be very essential. So I guess it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm glad that they've been reassuring you. That's good to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's been a really weird time, but we thank God for being able to just chill for a bit. It's like an extended holiday. Let's still get paid.
Say, what are you doing with all your free time? Yeah, not too bad going.
Literally, sometimes so much, and sometimes absolutely nothing. Like, I have days where I literally sleep till like 4, and like just be in bed on YouTube, just like do nothing. Like, do nothing. And there'll be days where I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna do a bit of yoga, and then I'm gonna commit, and I'm gonna go for a walk, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cook. And like, it's just kind of like over overexerting myself. So it's just yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult to kind of maintain balance when you don't have like one structured thing in your day and you kind of
Mm,
set life around, which is normally work.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been difficult adjusting, but I'm adjusting.
Yeah.
So
Doing okay.
hmm
Yeah. No wonder you go to stay in bed till 4 o'clock then if you do all that in one day and then the next day you're just chilling. That
literally,
makes sense. You have to kind of spread it out.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
do yoga one day, do cooking another day, do cleaning on Wednesday, and then, spread it out.
Spread it out. Yeah.
No, I guess it's good to just go with what you feel like doing. I'm all for doing what your body feels like at the moment. I'm all for that.
Mm. No, I feel like it's a good time because I am naturally so lazy, Callie. It's ridiculous. Like, honestly, I don't know what it is. I am just a
Are you?
lazy person. I am so lazy.
Oh, you've never given me a lazy vibe before.
I'm glad. I'm glad. But like, I'm so lazy. Like, if I can find a way to make something easier or to not do something,
Yeah,
I
you
won't.
won't do
I
it.
won't do it.
Oh,
No, won't do
oh,
it. If I can like make something look neater than it actually is, make something like I'm quite lazy. But in my 20s, I've been trying to, fix it.
mm,
Like, just realize like one day I'm gonna grow up and like move out my house and hopefully have my own children that I have to teach to be structured individuals. And I can't be like, clean your room and they come to my room and it's like, um all your clothes on the floor.
yeah, I guess so. That's true.
So I
Yeah.
gotta figure it out. I figure it out.
Or you make them supersonic. Like, I feel like that's almost like teaching on a whole nother level. If you can teach your kids to still have a principle, even if the example is not there, that would be
Mm,
like even more supersonic. Like, yes, I'm telling you to tidy your room because I know that that's the best thing for you, even if my room's a mess. If they were able to actually like take on that principle, I
take
think
that.
that'd
They're
be
very
a
intelligent
big deal.
children. If
That'd be pretty
they're able to do
supersonic.
that,
Like, yeah.
literally. So I think kids like learn way more from what they see than what you'll hear,
Mm,
like most anyway.
mm.
So
True.
yeah.
It's
No,
saying that my mum's room is always spick and span, and mine is not. So I
yeah.
don't have any memories of my mum's room being a mess, and mine is like a bomb's hit it most of the time. But
What it is.
maybe it's personalities as well.
Maybe. Maybe. Like my mum always says like a messy space equals a messy mind, but I've never experienced
Yeah.
that.
No, I that is
No,
what is for me. If my head is
really.
full of stuff, my room is a mess, and then I can't. If I try to tidy my room like prematurely, like before my head feels clear, it just doesn't. I'll do like a half-hearted job, or it just won't. It'll be like, you kind of hide clutter, you don't actually sort it.
Yeah,
It'll be like that, and then one day I'll be like, yeah, I've kind of dealt with my stuff, and then I
yeah.
can clear my room. It's literally like that for me.
Wow.
When my life is a bit, I feel overwhelmed. My room is just. It's like I go end my day, go in my room, like I can't deal with this. I can't deal with
Mm,
a pile of clothes. I need to just leave them there because I haven't got the headspace to put them
to
away.
take it all in.
Yeah.
No, it does make sense. Like when she said it, I'm like, it makes sense. But I feel like my brain in general is quite like sporadic, like the way that
Mm,
I do things. I realized this with like starting my job now, been doing
mm,
it for like a year and a few months. And like my manager was like, the way that you think is literally like I get things done, but the way that I do it isn't like it's structured in
working.
my head,
Mm,
but someone watching me, they're like, why? Like, why is she doing it like that? But I'm really like, just okay, I'm gonna do this for a bit, and then I'm gonna do this for a bit, and that. And like
mm,
I half do tasks, so I'll like
mm,
start putting something on the system, and then I'll start calling someone, and then I'll finish putting the thing on the system. Then one's just like, why don't you just do one thing? and then do the other thing, then do the other.
Mm.
But for my head, like for me, I like doing things in like bits. Don't know why.
Yeah, it's almost like when you go to the other task, it's like a break
Yeah,
from that
and
thing. You
also
go and do
if
another
something's
thing.
boring, like I hate putting stuff on the system. Boring.
Mm.
Don't want to do it. So like, I'll rather just like do a little bit, do a little bit
Yeah,
more, do a little bit more, and then
that makes sense.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So not very linear in your work
Yeah,
process.
no, unless I have to do stuff with other people, then I'm very
Mm.
like very very structured. Because
Mm.
but if I'm doing something by myself, then I just
Mm.
do it randomly.
Mm. I think I'm quite linear. Like I like to just get my head into one thing and just do that the whole time. I think I've struggled. Like like at uni, everyone was like, "Oh, you should do freelance," and I'm like, no. Like the idea of juggling like loads of different projects at the same time just it's a big turn off for me. I don't really want to do that. I like having like one job and I just
Do that job.
give my whole attention to it all the time. I'm much more
So
that way
would you
inclined.
contract like in the traditional sense of like just being a contractor, be on site, do all of
Yeah.
that, finish that project, and then yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
it's
me.
kind of really that's kind of how I've done it so
Mm,
far. I do the odd occasional like one-off job, but most of the time I'm working for one person and that's it. Like I much prefer that way of working. And even with my swimming teaching, it was like I narrowed it down to just doing one day a week. I do all my lessons then. It's not spread out across the whole week like it used to be. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I
So
think
your
I'm
day is
definitely
like this is the day that I do this. These are the days that I do that. Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's good.
I like it like that.
Hmm.
I struggle. I feel more overwhelmed when I'm hopping from one thing to the other, and I feel like
Yeah,
I can't get my teeth into it if I hop from one to the other. I have to just
I have
go
a
right
friend that
in.
always says that it's better to be productive than to be busy. And I think
Yeah.
doing it that way means that even if your whole day isn't taken up by what you're doing,
Mm.
you've completed it or
Yeah,
you've done the
true.
task for the day.
Yeah.
It's like you feel a sense of accomplishment. But if you
Mm.
decide to do lots and lots of things in the day, it can drain your energy, can be
Mm.
very like you end up doing things half-heartedly. I think what did she say that multitasking is like it's like the death to like productivity or something like that. Like if you do
Mm.
lots of things at one time or you have lots of things on your mind at one time, you end up not being as productive.
Mm.
I'm
Well, I
trying to
guess it
work.
depends if that's your workflow though, then it obviously works for you. Like
Mm,
if by switching tasks that makes
yeah,
you more productive because there's no point staying on one task and then getting bored like updating the system like you said and then it just takes you 5 hours to do it because you're so bored and you're just like
yeah.
dragging your heels. There's no point doing that either.
I think you have to find like a middle ground for yourself. Like you can take all of these
Mm.
kind of principles and try and figure out how it fits in your mind. Like one principle that I've definitely taken up is if I think to do something, just do it now.
Mm.
I used to be that person that's just like, okay, I'm going to do that at this time, and
Mm.
then or like setting timetables for myself doesn't work. Just doesn't work. And I feel I'm so jealous of people that are just so structured and they're like, I said I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it at this time every day. I can't. Like I would rather say I'm gonna do these three things,
Yeah.
and at some point, when I think about it, I'm just gonna get up and do it.
Mm.
Then like I'm gonna do this at this time because I will just keep pushing it back, and I just won't do it. So I'm just like, once you think about it, do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't I've heard that before, but I don't think I've ever really tried to implement it, like
Mm,
really like commit to it. I have to try it. I'm saying that like I have to try it because I know I've got some projects I need to finish
yeah.
and I keep thinking about them and I'm like another time, another time. Months have gone by and I'm like I haven't done it yet. So it's
Literally,
like
and you set a time for yourself to do it, and you won't
yeah.
do it at that time.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
don't
It's true.
want to
I
do
think to
it.
myself, oh, I'll just do it. I'll get up and do it first thing in the morning, or I'll do it in the evening, and then by the time it gets to
Mhm.
that time, I don't feel like it anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's true. I
Literally,
need
if
to
it's on your mind, just
try that.
get it out the way.
So yeah, that's it. Get it out of the way. But I'm definitely on a mission to kind of like fill my life with things that don't feel like that.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to have to. I don't want a life full of things I have to get out of the way. If that makes sense. So I think this kind of lockdown period for me has been, or when it's finished, will be a good opportunity for me to kind of clean the slate of what what kind of work I want to do. I was already starting to refine it before lockdown, but even more so. But like now, I really know that I like to do one thing at a time, and I really this has made it clear to me which types of projects get me going and which ones don't. And I'm just like, I just don't want to do those ones that if I can afford to not do those ones that don't tickle my fancy, then I just don't want to do them. Need to just be stricter and just say no, thanks. That's not what I
Literally.
do. But
And as a contractor, I think that's so important. Just like
mm,
obviously from the tech side of things, I'm not quite sure from the creative side of things, but even our like more like UI based like UX people,
mm,
they will only do like they will only do certain types of projects. Really good
mm,
ones, really talented ones will only do certain things because that's what they
mm,
specialize in. That's what they like to do. That's what they know when they deliver. It's going to be great, and the client's going to be happy with what
yeah.
they're there, like putting across. But
Mm,
people that you tend to find that people that just do anything and will take on anything tend to be cheaper. We tend to get a lot of like cancelling of contracts. Like they tend to be a little bit less um,
mm,
not less able to their job, but just because they're so spread spread out in terms of what they can do, they don't
mm,
perfect things.
mm,
So I feel like if you're
yeah.
gonna go down the contracting vein, it's good to just kind of specialize and be picky and just be great in what the things that you do decide to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. You can't really refine your craft if you're doing lots of different things at the same time.
Hmm.
If you cook 10 different meals, you're only going to get so good. If you cook the same meal every day, it's going to be by the end of the
Exactly.
week. Makes
Exactly.
sense.
Hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. So coming off that then, in terms of, I was wondering whether you were, I didn't know if you were furloughed or not. So
Mm.
given that you are, you've got all that free time, do you feel like, or have you noticed that with that free time, you've been looking inward more and kind of, have you learned more about yourself essentially during this time off?
Definitely. It gives
Mm,
you so much time to just like figure out who you are, what your motivations are, what gets you going, what annoys you,
mm,
and filter out a lot of noise.
mm.
Um, I found that during this time I've been so much less tolerant of
Oh,
things that annoy me,
yeah.
of things that I don't want in my space, or people that annoy me, or like
Mm,
I don't tolerate anyone. Like if you irritate me, I'm just like okay, back up because it's like when you have other things going, you can distract yourself with those things.
mm,
If someone's annoying me, I could just be like, I'm gonna go do work now. Like you're annoying me now, and then I'll talk to you later. Well,
yeah.
now I literally have so much free time that like I need to decide who can take that time and who cannot. So I'm like, if I'm
Okay.
actually cutting you out, it's not like
Yeah.
okay, I'll talk to you later. I'm just like, I don't care if I have all the time in the world to deal with you. I'm
Mm.
not going to. Like
Mm.
finished, not going to do that.
Interesting.
Like it's given me a lot of perspective.
Mm. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of kind of quotes going around about, people, if someone hasn't contacted you during lockdown, then they're not, they're not worth your time, or this is really becoming evident who's important to you, who you reach out to, who you've survived
Mm.
5 weeks of lockdown without talking to. And but that's interesting that
Mm.
you've got more time, but you're being more specific about who uses it and how you spend it.
Yeah, and I feel like
Mm.
if you have 5 minutes, right, to talk to someone,
Yeah.
and you use that 5 minutes. At the end of the day, when you look at the perspective of your whole day, you're like, okay, it's 5
Right,
minutes
yeah,
of the day
it was only
gone.
5 minutes.
While when you have 24 hours, or like let's say like 12 hours, this person could talk to you for 4 hours because you're both
That's
free.
true, yeah.
And
That's
it's like, you
true.
know what? Someone talk to you, and I have no excuse to tell you like, oh, I'm gonna go downstairs and cook, because everyone knows that I like to talk on the phone when I'm doing stuff. Like I'm not someone that likes to be alone. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather like do things with people. So if
Mm.
I'm saying like I have to go, I just don't want to talk to you. Like I just don't want to
You're
talk
gonna
to you.
bear that in mind for the future. If I'm talking to you and you're like, yeah, I need to go now. And I'm like,
Like,
oh no,
ugh.
that's it. I'm on the red
Either
list.
that or like I'm just drained from the conversation, which is actually just like, that's actually quite normal. It doesn't mean I don't
Mm.
like you. It
Mm.
just means like, okay, we've spoken for a long time
This is a
now.
lot.
Yeah, like let's just go. Let me just go do something else now. But it's more like if I don't pick up, it cool.
Mm.
Like, because my phone is always next to me. If I'm not replying straight, I just don't feel like replying now.
Just press the lock screen, just let it ring.
Literally, I'll
Yeah.
be like, okay, right, talk to you later.
Oh god.
Like,
Noted.
'cause, yeah, no, I feel being so much more selective with my time,
Mm.
like what I take in, and how I communicate. I've realised that I'm quite an anxious person as well.
Mm. Okay.
So yeah, trying to deal with that.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's given me a lot of time to think, and realise what's important, what's not important, who I want to be, stuff. Which I think your 20s is all about that. So it's
Yeah.
cool that we have a period of time where I can kind of hyper do that.
Mm.
Maybe I'll be done by the time I'm 25 rather than pushing it to
It's
21.
true. It's true. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people are probably going to reach that point in their journey of life way before they would normally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do what I would do by I'm 30. I'm 25 in a month and 2 days. So I don't know if I've got time to be like
Wow.
really
We've got
intense.
so much time. We've got 5 more years. Got 5 more years
Yeah,
till you're
I don't know if
30.
I don't know if I'll reach my my normal life 30 reflections by the age of 25. Don't know if I'll be able to do that because I'm
No.
still working, so I've not really had that kind of completely empty space
Mm,
um to kind of wander free in. I haven't had that. Um,
yeah, definitely.
but yeah, it's definitely. I think I'm still learning stuff about myself whilst working and kind of working in this setup as well. But yeah, I was wondering, do you find it? I've been thinking about if I was furloughed and I did just have all that free time, would I actually want to? Because it's an option. I could basically, because I'm self-employed, I could just say, look, I'm just going to take this time off. Um, but I haven't, and it's made me think to
Mm,
myself, like, why haven't I? Like, am I avoiding something? Like, if I'm alone with myself for that long, am
mm,
I gonna like what I find? And part of me does feel like I'm almost like scared to front myself and see myself. Like, do I want to kind of sit with my bad habits and tendencies that maybe aren't so great, or do you know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
I feel a little bit apprehensive about that. Um, but have you felt like that, or have you been kind of just like, yeah, let's just see what's in there and stuff like that? Or have you felt more apprehensive to see what you've been
I think
studying?
I've observed my bad habits more, and a
Mm,
lot of the things that I put down to being busy,
mm,
put down to being stressed, um, I've realised aren't due to that,
mm,
and they're just due to my habits and what I want to do and what I want to take in. Like I'm sitting down and binging like
mm,
shows, and the idea that, oh, I've been wanting to read for ages, I realised I don't want to read because I have all the time in the world to read. I don't want to read, and I have to like come to that point where I'm like, do you know, you don't want to read. Like, I just had to like realize, like, sit down and be like that. Like, I'm not. I think right now with like social media and people having so much access to other people's thoughts, there's so much pressure to be a certain way and enjoy certain things. And there's just a lot of things I don't enjoy. Like, I don't want to journal. I don't want to read. I don't want to work out every day. I don't want to eat super healthy. And like, that's me. And maybe I will like work on myself and pick up some of those things that are healthy habits. But I think you have to like actually be real with yourself and be like, I now have the time to make myself the healthiest meals in the world. I don't want to do that. I want to eat angel cakes and eat crisps. That's what I want to do. like like if I didn't want to do that, I would be like, oh my gosh, I have so much of this time. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna make myself a lovely breakfast, I'm gonna make a smoothie, I'm gonna like be this domestic goddess. And I realised I don't want to. So like, no matter what, like,
Yeah.
like I thought I didn't like to cook because I don't actually like cooking. I realised it's not that I don't like cooking. I don't like washing dishes. I realised in this time that's what it is. It's not that I don't like to wash dishes
Oh,
so much.
so you don't mind cooking as long as someone else is washing the dishes?
To future husband out there, if you can wash the dishes, I will cook every day. I will cook every day. I don't care. But like, you're on mute, by the way.
Hmm?
You were on mute. I don't know if you put it on mute. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got a guest.
But yeah, it's genuinely, I just realizing a lot of things about myself. And I think once you realize those things, oh, hi, sweetie. I feel like once you realize those things, you're then able to address them.
Yeah.
But when we're all busy, you can lie to yourself and be like, yeah, I really want to do all these things at the time. Hi.
That's really interesting. Like, I think that's really cool actually that you can really like fine tune the things you like and don't like now. I think that's really cool that you can got that time to be that specific about yourself. That's really cool. Come in, go in. That's it. It's coming off the bed. I forgot what I was gonna say now. It's gone off. Distracted me. It's gone.
But on the vein of vices and like being alone with your vices, or like the stuff that you have to face, if you could take a week off from what you're doing now, I would highly suggest it. Just so that you can just find a way to structure your own days with things that you want to do and realize what you want to do and what you don't like doing.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you're able to then figure out ways to no longer do those things. So whether that's like the amount of times that I've had to clean, like our bathroom, for example.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm obviously not the only one not working, I've kind of taken it upon like, I'm gonna clean and do all the stuff or whatever. And it used to be a thing where I would do it every week, like just normally I'll just do it every week. Realize now I find it so much easier doing it every day, like a quick one, and it takes like 2-3 minutes to just literally like clean the bath, scrub the sink really quickly, spritz down the mirror, and then so I haven't had to do a big clean with the bathroom. And like I was like, if I can, when I'm busy again, I can still do this. Like, this is not hard.
While you're in there, yeah.
Literally, like, finish a shower.
Done.
Like, done. Yeah. And I was like, wow, I've never thought to do things in this way. Like, I don't always have to do like a big clean at the end of the week. Like, drop something, vacuum it now, do it now, just do it now. Like, then your energy of like, oh, it's Sunday, okay, basically, and clean all the
Mm.
doors, clean all that, yeah, do that. And I hate, like, as I said at the beginning of this, I'm so lazy. Like, I'm just a lazy person. So I need to figure out ways of doing things in a way that doesn't exert so much energy. I
Yeah.
feel like just doing little things when you think of them does that.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like I feel like I need more than a week off
Mm,
to get to because obviously when you first have time off, it's just like, oh, let me just indulge and
yeah.
just, do things you like to do.
Hmm.
But then I feel like you need like a week, another like 2 or 3 weeks to really
Yeah.
get to, like you said, like the idea of like, I just no, I don't want to read, or you know, it's the washing up I don't like rather than the cooking. I feel like I need to be doing that for a little bit longer than a week to really
Yeah.
get a hold of it.
Mm,
I keep going back and forth on it. To be honest, I do keep debating it because I kind of see the benefits of this opportunity. Like this isn't something that's going to keep happening. Well, I don't
yeah.
think it will anyway.
Hopefully.
So it's like, oh, do I kind of have a taste of both sides of it? So I'm like, oh, this has been so productive. Like literally being in the same space as the people that I work with and for. It's like can, just the kind of fluidity of work has been really good, and like Templeway stuff, like ministry stuff, is just like we can just have a meeting about it. We can just have conversations over breakfast about what we're going to do next, or just at random times. It just works.
Mm,
If we get an idea, let's just talk about it right now. It's not, when are you free to have a meeting? Oh, when the kids have gone to bed, we can do it. It's like, well, we can just do it now in the garden. Like,
mm,
I like that. Um,
yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, well, I could also be having this experience of just like self-discovery, really intense self-discovery. So yeah, I'm kind of still, by the sounds of it, I've still got time to do both if I really want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Um,
We're
yeah.
stuck.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think like what would you say is like the main, I guess, vice or bad habit that you've noticed during this time? What's kind of stuck out to you the most? Or, well, if you're happy to share, you don't have to share. You can talk about it ambiguously if you want to.
Mm. Um, biggest vice.
Like, there's like the most significant one for you that's kind of been like, oh, hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think comfort eating.
Mm. I was gonna say because I was looking online, and it was saying about like the seven deadly sins, um, but they were saying like there's like three like modern day ones. You've got sleep, food, and internet are like people's main things they get
Yeah.
stuck on, like
Yeah.
comfort food for you,
Major.
angel cake and crisps.
Literally. And it's just, I think like everyone's kind of joking around it, right, in my house, or
Oh,
stepping around it with me. But like, um, I've always been quite sensitive about my weight and what I
mm,
look like and stuff like
mm,
that.
mm,
And I think in the past, like since August, I've just not really been thinking about it,
mm,
which was good. Like it was
mm,
a good mental space. I was eating like kind of like healthy, but like eating what I want sort of thing.
mm,
Um, while now, like I'm not eating very well. Um, and it is sort of like when I get the opportunity, like I made like banana bread with like chocolate and like walnuts, and it was lovely. But like
mm.
I basically ate all of it. Like, and I made like two like massive loaves.
Yeah.
Like I ate it. like, and then like making myself coffees and bread. Like I love bread, and it's just a
Mm,
thing of like, not that I necessarily am like sad, but I'm not in like the best mood most of the
Mm.
time. Like I don't wake up like I'm so happy. Like
Mm.
I'm not like that, and it's just because um there's like so much that needs to be done, but then also so much time to do it.
Mm.
Um, it kind of, when I don't necessarily achieve stuff in a day, or if I feel like I've slept too much, or like there's a lot of guilt
Mm.
at this time, because it's like, how do I use my time? I think I end up like just making myself feel better, but like literally like gouging myself and just eating like, but every time I go grocery shopping, I'll buy like a tub of like Haagen-Dazs ice cream and like eat
Mm.
half of it on like when I get back or whatever. Um, and I need to I've definitely figured out why I do that.
Mm.
And I think now very recently I've been thinking about it more, and it's like, okay, well, be better to yourself, be kinder to yourself, because in the long run, you know what issues you have with your body and how you
Mm.
feel, and you don't want to look at yourself and end up having a cycle of like,
Mm.
now I feel bad about myself, now I feel bad about what I look like, so I'm
Mhm.
gonna eat some more, and I'm lazy, I'm not working out, I'm not eating well, and comfort eat some more. So it's definitely a cycle. um yeah, never really had a good relationship with food,
Mm.
so that's something that I've definitely, it's been super highlighted that I do that.
Mm.
Didn't know that I did that. Super highlighted.
Mm.
Um, and to be honest, I should have known, because I'm someone that like, I have a bad day at work and I'll go to M&S and buy like one of those massive tubs of like chocolate and literally sit in my room like holding it and just eat it and eat it and eat it, like the whole thing. And
Yeah.
I'll go to work and like tell my manager, oh my gosh, I ate a whole tub of chocolate. And he'll be looking at me like, like that's kind of
Mm.
excessive. Like it's not
Mm.
it like, and how often I do it as
Mm.
well, I think
Mm.
was more the problem. Like I feel like it's good for people to indulge in like things that they like every so often, but we have to be mindful of our bodies, and we have to be mindful of like treating ourselves well,
Mm.
and not necessarily just falling to what you want to do in the moment and falling to like emotions.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's a major thing right now for me.
Mm. Mm. Do you think that it's kind of, I guess it's there's one thing like knowing what it is, and it's a whole another thing like actually trying to move move forward with it and like either make changes or do it more consciously, or like where do you feel like you're at with that? Do you think it's like, right, okay, now I know that this is what I do, I'm just going to stop? Or do you feel like, okay, this is, this time of lockdown, it's like it's given me the space to really acknowledge this. And then when I go back to
Mm.
normal life, maybe I'll start trying to implement it. Or do you feel like you can kind of tackle it now? What do you feel like?
I feel like now I need to find motivations that will make me want to stop.
Mm,
So rather than just stopping, because obviously there's something motivating me to do it.
yeah.
So I need to find something to motivate me not to. And I've
Okay.
been trying, although I'm putting on weight, it's not
Mm,
significant enough for my physical body, like in terms of what I see, which is what I tend to focus on a lot,
mm,
to be the issue.
mm,
Especially now, like in this age where like slightly larger bodies and more curvaceous bodies or whatever are celebrated.
yeah.
So me like slightly bigger isn't actually a thing that I look at and I'm like, unlike when I was
Mm,
younger and everyone wanted to be super, super skinny and I wasn't, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, needs to be really
mm,
skinny. Now it's not there's not really all that pressure. But
yeah.
um, what I do need to take heed of is just my health
Hmm.
and how I feel. And I feel like recognizing that and maybe being like, okay, let me like have like a super healthy day and let me see how I feel.
Hmm.
And if I feel better, and I see the benefits of that, then I'll probably continue to do it. But if it's more of a thing of like, oh, it's bad, so I'm just not gonna do it. If you don't fill it with something else, you'll just go back to it.
Yeah.
It's just another motivation in my mind. It's like when people decide that they want to like stop listening to secular music and only listen to gospel music, but they haven't found gospel music that they like.
Right.
So then they just like end up going back to listening to whatever they were listening to before.
Yeah.
Because like you haven't filled it with anything.
Not
So
scratching the itch. Yeah.
literally. So I need to like find something else which is healthy, which is good, that makes me feel good, that releases like good endorphins. I know like some people would be like, oh, that's exercise. Oh, that's I don't know, like eating fruit instead of eating sweets or whatever. I don't know if that's the case, because I can definitely
Yeah.
get myself on fruit. I can definitely do that.
Yeah, like I wanted to ask you about that, like the idea, because obviously people like talking about fixing bad habits is not a new topic, but just
Mm,
the idea of replacing things, I'm just wondering like how practical is that really? Like I know some people say, especially when it comes to food as a specific
mm,
one, like, oh, when you're craving chocolate, it's because your body needs this vitamin. So if you give yourself this alternative, then you won't feel the craving for chocolate and stuff
mm,
like that. But I I get it. I think that's probably quite valid to an extent. But when it becomes
mm.
more of a psychological relationship with the food
Yeah.
that you're eating, I feel like that doesn't really apply because it's not like I love all things sweet. Like I will buy, I don't know. So what you said about the Haagen-Dazs, you're like, oh, I bought a tub of Haagen-Dazs and I ate half of it when I went home. I was like, okay. Like I got Haagen-Dazs last week. I was waiting to go on a Zoom call and I left, I'm not even exaggerating, I left this much in the tub and I was like,
I
I'm
did that
full now.
yesterday.
I can't eat. If I eat all of it, I will feel sick. But this is not enough for me to enjoy tomorrow. But I'm eating too much. I've gone past the halfway line. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I might as well keep going. But I did leave the scraps and I made them last next time. But yeah, I eat a lot of sweet things.
Mm.
Me and Ramona are doing a no sugar, well, not no sugar week, but like no sweet treats and sweet drinks week. And it's like I went to Tesco last week and I bought myself, the Tesco set of 2 cupcakes you can get.
Mm.
I got 2 packs of those and they're just sitting in my room because I bought them before we'd agreed to do that. And I was like, I didn't have a chance to eat them. And now they're just sitting here and I got some bad news yesterday.
Mm.
I was supposed to be going to America in the summer for a summer camp, working a
Okay.
summer camp, and they've said that obviously I can't go now because of all of this. I was
Mm.
like, that's
Yeah.
crappy news. I was like,
I
can
want to eat
I
my
should
cupcakes.
I should I eat the cupcakes, the 4 red
Yeah.
velvet cupcakes I've got in this bag?
Yeah.
But I didn't. I took myself out. I went out for a run. I say that because it wasn't really I ran for a little bit and then I walked and then I came home. But I was like, I need to just do something else.
Mm.
But it didn't. It kind of, and I knew that when I exercise, I then don't feel like eating rubbish straight afterwards.
It's an
Um,
amazing cycle, isn't it? It's an amazing cycle. Once you
but
start working out, like you just start looking after yourself a little bit more.
it's like a waste
Um,
otherwise if you eat rubbish afterwards.
yeah.
But I just don't know whether that's like, I'm thinking about eating cupcakes because I got bad news, not because I'm vitamin deficient. I doubt that if it was if I knew the alternative, I'd be like, oh yeah, I should just
Yeah.
go and eat this vitamin E rich thing instead and just be like, yeah,
Mm.
I doubt that would be the case. But yeah, I just feel like it's not very, don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be anti fixing your bad habits, but
Yeah.
the idea of replacing stuff, I don't know how long lasting it is. I don't know if I've had any bad habits that I've really
Work that way.
replaced and I've never gone back to or felt like I'm, because I guess vices, bad habits and vices, like vices are more, I see them as things that are like really, they've really got you, like you can't
Yeah.
quite wriggle out of them. Whereas some stuff is like, yeah, it's a bad habit, but I've got past it. Like, I don't know, like biting my nails or something. Like I used to be really bad at biting my nails, but as I've got older, I've got better at it. It's like, yeah, I still do it a little bit, but I wouldn't call it a vice because it's not like
Mm,
I'm not gnawing them down to the moons or something. I
mm,
feel like vices are a bit more extreme, and I don't think I can think of anything that's really had me that I've moved past and not been kept by replacing it with something. I don't know
mm.
if I can think of anything like that. And in my experience, things that I have actually got rid of, have ended up just coming back bigger and stronger, like
Mm.
come out in a worse way, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know
I
if
think
I don't
it's
know how I feel
all
about it.
about
I'm like, oh,
moderation. I think it's
yeah,
all about moderation.
mm,
Um, which I'm not a moderate person in
mm,
terms of the way that I do things. So I find that really hard.
mm,
Um, like there was a point just for last year I went on holiday. It was my first like holiday with like my friends and stuff.
mm,
Um, I was gonna be in a bikini or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna like have that beach bod. So I had a
mm-hmm,
goal and I worked out 3 to 5 days every week, heavy
mm-hmm,
weights, getting weights up like the weight up every single week.
mm,
I was really strict with myself on my diet, like very, very strict. No sweets, no like nothing at all.
mm,
Wasn't having like normal milk, wasn't having coffee, wasn't like nothing.
mm,
And as soon as I came back from my holiday, chocolate, sweets, kebabs, like all the things that I love, I was
mm, mm,
every day. Um,
yeah,
And I think what's crazy is like the people around me were like, you're gonna binge. Like when you come back from your holiday, you're gonna binge. To the point where even like when I was on holiday, I didn't even eat. I barely ate because everything there was kind of like
mm,
junky, like
heavy, yeah,
like chips and crisps and um meat and all like oily fried stuff. So I didn't really eat when I was there because I was like, I don't want to put weight on while I'm here because like
mm,
that's silly. And
yeah,
then coming back, and it was like I had a few more holidays, but I knew that I wasn't going to put on that much weight to the point where
mm,
I couldn't like look nice or whatever. So I just started, and like now I feel like I can see how much I've done it to myself,
mm,
like from that time.
mm,
So it's like I'm still doing it. I was doing it. I've been doing it since August. But now, like, I don't go to work. I don't go to the gym at all. I don't do anything active, really. Um, I've been in self isolation like way before this stuff happened.
mm,
Um, so, like, I haven't really been getting out of the house and stuff um, as much as like other people. I've seen like other people going on walks and stuff. I haven't really been doing that.
mm,
So I'm seeing the effects of it now, but I've been doing it, sort of
mm,
thing.
mm,
Um, yeah, and it's just so crazy because I think back to like how strong I was, like last year July,
mm,
and yesterday I went to Morrison's. Was carrying like 2 plastic bags of groceries back. It was kind of warm, but it wasn't like boiling. I was drenched, like I was sweating. I'm so unfit. I was just like, wow, like what
yeah,
have you actually done to yourself? Like you've eaten yourself to the point of like being genuinely unhealthy.
mm,
Like,
oh,
um, so I think yesterday was really something because when I mentioned that to my
mm,
parents and they were looking at me like, yeah, for you are big. Like for Joelle, you are big.
mm,
Like you put on quite a bit of weight.
Mm.
I automatically came on the defensive. But
Mm.
no, yeah, it's definitely something that I've noticed. I'm aware. I'm aware of how much like I've
Yeah.
eaten and been eating and what I've been eating. So I think recognizing that and then being like, okay, why am I doing this? And
Mm.
what will motivate me to stop? And I have been like slowly like being a little bit better.
Mm.
And I think it is just like having real motivations as to why you want to stop. So then, even if you don't replace it with anything, your motivation is stronger than
Yeah.
like what you've replaced it with or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's like that either motivation to do something better or is it motivation to stop the thing?
mm,
Kind of two different. I don't know if they are different, but in my head they feel. I feels like right now it feels like they're different things.
I think they are different things. Like if it was
Mm.
just like to being, stop eating this thing,
Mm.
that's gonna be really difficult. If it's stop eating this thing because you're gonna be healthier, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna have more
Mm.
energy, your hair
Mm.
will grow, your nails will grow, your lashes will grow because you're eating more like healthy things.
Mm.
I feel like that's what I need to focus on.
Mm.
Um, it's just like the way that your brain works. Like when you think about like
Mm.
how your mind takes in information and that your diet can affect that. Like that's crazy. So
Mm.
like if I eat better, I will essentially think clearer. I
Mm.
feel like having that as a motivation rather than, oh yeah, I just need to be healthy because everyone thinks it's good to be healthy and you should be healthy because
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
that will motivate me in any way.
Mm. So do you feel like it's just kind of like a willpower thing then, more than anything? Do you feel like we are kind of, I said that we're kind of trapped in a vice, but do you think it's
Mm.
more just the willpower to not be is more the issue? Like it's not the specific vice, it's the problem, but it's just the willpower. Like
You
maybe
have
people
to
that
have
are
a good
more,
reason to not do that thing.
mm,
Like a really good reason.
mm,
That is like you are truly convicted and convinced by that reason.
mm,
Like some people don't decide to lose weight or be healthy until someone in their family has died of something that is related
right.
to their weight.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then they're like, wow, I need to be there for my kids. I need to be here for my
Yeah.
family. So I'm gonna do that. Like if like for your whole life you've been struggling with your weight and it took someone to die for you to be truly convinced
Mm,
to do that, like that's how convicted you have to be in order to break bad habits. Like I think this whole like, oh, taking a month, 21 days or however long it takes to break a habit, I don't think that's real. I feel like you have to have like true reasons, true
mm,
motivations, true convictions to stop doing something that gives you like, because the reason you're doing it is because it gives you like momentary joy, gives you
yeah.
momentary happiness.
Hmm.
So unless there's something that tells you that that happiness is not worth something else, you're not. I don't think it will ever go away. It'll come back at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're feeling down. It'll just come back.
Hmm. Mm. I guess it's scary when you think about it like that. That it's like you said about maybe someone has to die for you to take it seriously. It's like, well, what
Mm,
if someone does die and you still don't? It's like it's like people that like I was watching a documentary about someone that got a kidney transplant
yeah,
and then they waited for years to get the kidney transplant and then they got it and they carried on eating rubbish and ruining the new kidneys they got. So it's like you even went to the extent of kidney failure and you're
yeah.
still gonna put the bad stuff in your kidneys again, fresh ones.
Mm,
So I don't know. It's a little bit scary to think that. I don't know. I wonder if there's got to be more kind of a way to kind of claim the power back, like rather than
yeah,
waiting for something to happen that is going to then make me think I need to fix this
yeah,
because the reality is sometimes that thing doesn't come. Like you like that thing so much that it doesn't matter what things you think might happen or could happen or you see happen to other people, you still carrying on doing it.
Yeah,
But I don't know how we.
can truly address that. I think it's different for
Yeah,
so many people.
yeah.
Um,
Obviously, depending on
it's
what the
like,
thing is.
yeah, like what the reason why you're doing that thing in the first place.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, you got to get down to
yeah,
the nitty gritty of it, haven't you? To.
yeah, because
Mm,
because like in terms of like for example, someone having to die of like heart failure in order for you to like take better care of your heart,
mm,
like for some people that isn't the thing. It's like if you don't feel like you have people around you that care about you, you're not gonna care about that anyway. So like it's like there's so many different factors dependent on the person.
mm,
Um, I think most of my motivations around my body and diet and blah blah have all been vain, which is
mm.
why now that it's like cool to be bigger, it's like not bothering me as much. So it's
Further
like
in, yeah.
exactly. So it's kind of like,
Mm,
well, Joelle, that can't be your motivation anymore. Like it has to be your health. It has to be like future and like children and like family and
mm,
wanting to like be fit and well like in your like older age or whatever. Um,
mm.
that's got to be my motivation rather than like, do I look cute? Okay, I look cute. Fine. Don't care anymore. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm,
yeah, and it might also be the fact that I find people that like are like hyper healthy really annoying, like really annoying. So I
mm,
think that might be another thing. Like people that have got like an openly weird relationship with food, or like, oh, I can't have that because it's a Monday. Like I find that so weird. I just find it so strange. Like eat what you want to eat. Like why are
yeah.
you waiting until Friday to eat it? Like I
Mm,
don't get it.
yeah.
Um, and I've never got that. I've always been like, either just be healthy and don't eat the thing, or like
Mm,
just eat it, do what you want. Like, why are you restricting yourself?
yeah. Till the weekend.
Society that
Yeah.
talk about food so much. We talk about food so much and our diets and exercising and
Mm.
blah. We're obsessed with it. Genuinely obsessed with it.
It's a big part of our life. We need it. We need to eat, and our
Yeah.
bodies are our bodies are all we are, really, aren't they? It's
Mm,
makes sense.
true.
It's not something we can go without. Like,
But I feel like I noticed it when I started working. Like
mm,
when I start like graduated and got like my graduate job or whatever. I was
mm,
like, why do people were so judgy as to what you ate?
mm,
Like I found it so strange. Like I remember coming into work with I worked in work Holborn. So I'd come into Waterloo, and anyone that knows Waterloo, there's like that pastry like shop thing in there. They sell Cornish pasties.
mm,
And I used to like go and have one like for breakfast, like 2, 3 times a week. The amount of time everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, she's having a Cornish pasty for breakfast." And at that time, I was so skinny. I used to go to the gym like
mm.
religiously, like every night. So I was like, "Why the heck do you care what I eat?" I was so, but like, what? Like, you're eating a Cornish pasty for breakfast? Like, aren't you gonna feel full? How are you gonna eat lunch? I'm like, trust me, I will eat lunch. I will eat dinner. I am fine. I have a fast metabolism. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like 19, like yeah, like it was just before I graduated. So like, yeah, I was like 29, like 19, 20 or something.
Mm, mm,
Um, like at that time, and thankfully I'm blessed, quite a fast metabolism. So I was like, why are you judging me?
mm,
You weirdos.
mm, mm,
And I didn't realize, like, but that's a thing, like, and it's everywhere. Like every place I've worked, it's a thing. And apparently, according to most people, I eat very strange. Like,
oh,
don't know what it is. Like every place I've worked, it's been like I I eat strange.
oh,
Like, but I'm not as concerned about what I eat
mm, mm,
or how I eat it or how big a portion something is. If I want to have something, I'll have it. If I decide that I'm gonna be really, really healthy, I go ham and I'm like really, really healthy. And then it's like people complaining about that. Like, oh, yeah, it's broccoli. And I'm like, well, I like broccoli and I'm gonna eat broccoli. We can talk about
The
food.
free spirit. Yeah. I just wanted to say about, I noticed you said two different threads to this whole dealing with your vice concept. So
Mm,
on one side you said you need to have a really strong, like, unwavering motivation to
mm,
change. And then on the other side, you also said about knowing where your vice is coming from, like what
mm,
it's rooted in.
mm,
Um, and I think, like, using what you've shared with us already as an example, like you've said, okay, I need to find a real motivation. I need to focus on being healthy for my future and my personal well-being. But you also shared with us, like, why you're eating the unhealthy food
mm,
and where that's coming from. And I'm sure you know the finer details of that, which we don't need
mm,
to go into. But um, I thought it's interesting that even though you talked about both, at the end of it, you're still like, I need to focus on the motivator. When actually,
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, well, actually, if you looked at what's underneath it first, or focus, put more energy into that, then surely, if you were like, okay, well, I'm eating rubbish because of ABC, I'm going to figure out how I can kind of work on ABC and maybe find alternative ways to kind of deal with ABC or
Mm,
soothe ABC. Or when I feel that way, I'm conscious of that, so I'm going to do this instead. What else can kind of repair those things or
mm,
aid me in healing those things, um, so that you don't then want to binge on the box of chocolates from M&S.
mm.
Like, like I feel like if you deal with those, then being healthy will become a
A
default
byproduct.
rather than,
Yeah.
yeah, rather than it, just like the vice, just like eating the crap is, the eating the crap is because of this thing. So if you
Mm,
fix the thing,
mm,
then the result will be a healthier lifestyle. And yeah, you will still get to enjoy angel cake and crisps, but you won't be enjoying angel cake and crisps because of this underrooted thing that's kind of
pushing you to
fueling
do
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
I
I
think
guess it's harder to do, and it's more like
probably,
to
I think
do,
that's harder to
uncomfortable to
do.
do.
Especially because for me, what gets me to do that is either like disappointment or
Mm,
stresses.
mm.
Um, and it's difficult to avoid disappointment or stresses.
Yeah, of course.
So
But then
I
it's
think,
learning new behaviors for.
yeah, it's that. Um, it's that, and I think that's more difficult. I think it's more
Yes.
difficult to decide I'm going to act differently in this situation than
Hmm.
to be like I'm not going to do that because of this. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's good to focus on what's underneath,
Mm,
but I think it's good to have both so that
mm,
if
hmm.
that fails, you can rely on this, and if this fails, then you can rely on that.
Yeah, you
So
kind of build them up together, couldn't you? So
yeah,
it's like you want to be healthy and you also want to be kind of, I guess it's like holistically healthy. So you've got that healthy body motivation, but you've also got that psychological and kind of more spiritual health as
mm,
well. So then they kind of feed into each other, I guess.
mm-hmm,
Try to work on both. But yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely not easy. Like I've been doing therapy for, well, like year and a quarter.
Have you?
Yeah,
How are you
like
finding
consistently.
that?
It's very interesting.
Mm.
That might have to be another topic for another day because it is 5 o'clock.
Oh
On
damn!
that, I know time flies, isn't it? I might note that down. I think it's definitely an interesting. I've had a few conversations with people about therapy and yay or nay to therapy and what it can be and what it isn't and stuff. That might be
Mm.
an interesting topic to get someone in on. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
I'll note that.
definitely.
But yeah, I will wrap it up. But we can carry on talking. But yeah, I've really enjoyed talking about this with you, Joelle. Like, the idea is just, it is vast, and I think we've only kind
Mhm.
of scratched the surface of it.
Yeah.
But I think this kind of lockdown time that we're in right now is definitely a time where I guess it's an opportunity for many to look inwards, and self-evaluate and just be honest with yourself. I think is a key thing I took from what you were saying today, is being true to yourself, being honest with yourself, and being like, this is me right
Mm.
now, and loving yourself in whatever state that is, and hopefully loving yourself enough to then build on
Change,
yourself
yeah.
and kind of put more energy into the good things about you,
Mm.
and bring those out, also invest time in those weaker parts, or those bits that you want to work on,
Yeah,
to excel
definitely.
more. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for
Lovely
coming to
speaking
Tea
to
with
you, Kelly,
Templeway.
as always.